And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly show in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "One has to accept the fact that music itself can communicate. It can also influence." L. Ron Hubbard. With us today in the studio, we have a rather dazzling vocalist, and his name is Daryl Duff.
I wasn't expecting that one. No one's ever called me dazzling before.
I know you better than anybody, that's what that is. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, how are you doing, Basil?
Good, how about you?
It's good to be here.
Yes, I'm very glad to have you on the show because generally we have business people, but today you guys have a treat because we have an artist instead. So tell us about how you came to music.
Well, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised there. Going through the elementary school, you know, we about the 5th grade, as all elementary musicians start in the 4th or 5th grade, and I wanted to play a trombone. So I began to play trombone there, and I worked my way up through junior high and high school, and played all the way up until I got into college.
Oh, okay.
And I shouldn't say until I got to college, but I played all the way up through college. And it was in college that they discovered that I could sing better than I could play. So we parlayed this singing career, or this discovery of singing, into a 23-year career with the Navy Band Sea Chanters here in Washington, D.C. Just retired, so I'm in the middle of transitioning right now.
Okay. Well, this is a perfect time for you to come to our show then.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is.
So folks, you have his name, phone number there. And let's start with a little listen over here so our audience get into the mood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm a bass baritone singer, and let's see, you can listen to number 2, it's How Deep the Father's Love for Us. I'm also an ordained Christian, so ordained pastor. Okay. So How Deep the Father's Love for Us is, we'll take a listen to that for about 30 seconds.
Okay, good. Here it is.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son.
Welcome back. That was good, most definitely.
Well, thank you, thank you.
So, okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge right now, are you talking about musically and preparing
as an artist
music?
now? Yes.
As an artist, my biggest challenge right now is in performance, remembering the words in performance. Being in the military and singing in a military chorus, there's so many ways that you can do. God bless America, you know, and that's my biggest challenge right now, is trying to figure out which words
to remember
sing.
the words.
How to remember the words, you know, how to remember which arrangements you're singing, things like that.
Because you have different arrangements.
There's different arrangements for everything. I would say, okay, now that is when I was in the military. So that sort of bled over to my to my personal career as well. So musically, that would be it. That's my biggest challenge. Biggest challenge as far as being a professional musician is people don't know me. They would they would see me in uniform and with the unit Navy Sea Chanters, and they would know, oh yeah, he's part of the Sea Chanters. He's that guy that sings with the Sea Chanters. Now that the uniform is off, and I stand up and look at people and say I'm a singer, they have no idea who I am. So that's the biggest challenge, is getting my name and my talent out there.
Reinventing yourself in a way as somebody who's not in the military.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least introducing yourself, not necessarily
introducing
yourself.
This is an introduction right here, you know, as opposed to we've seen him for 23 years in a white uniform or a brown, a military uniform, a Navy uniform. So this is an introduction. Hello, my name is Daryl Duff. I'm a vocalist.
There you go. Yeah, actually, because when you're looking at a band, you're not singling. It's not like a Michael Jackson on stage where they know Michael, everybody else in the back is just the people in the back.
Exactly.
Here, like the group, it is the group, not the individual.
Right, right.
So on that account, even nobody is thinking of you as a single performer.
Right.
They're looking at you. They're looking at the band.
Exactly.
And that's about it.
Right.
So. That's okay. I gotcha.
So that is the largest challenge as we speak, is getting out there, and getting my name known, getting my voice out there. There are dozens of singers. There's dozens of singers in the Washington D.C. area, and in somebody's purview, I'm just one of a dozen, or in somebody else's purview, I'm one in a million. You know, so I'd rather be your one in a million than one in a dozen.
What is the difference?
Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way.
Well, I'd say one in a dozen, that one in a million.
One in a million is, you know, you've got a million singers out there, but then there's one Daryl Duff.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, that clearly is a question of marketing.
Exactly.
That we need to solve, and this will help make that happen.
Well, I hope so.
Definitely.
I hope so. And I can say that all of this couldn't be was made possible through the grace of God. This is my talent is God given. I didn't sing in the choir growing up. I played my trombone. I was sitting behind my trombone playing. I loved it. I played in church. I played at school. Played jazz. Played in the concert band. Played in the marching band. And I sang, you know, in the shower, or I sang while washing dishes as a kid. You know. Do you remember those tape recorders that you used to have? The one single tape recorder with a speaker at the top. Well, I was that guy. I was a kid that I would record what was playing on the radio at in the speaker behind in the back seat of the car. And so I was a kid that would record that radio, and then I would go to sleep with it in my head and just hear music all the time, be it gospel, be it jazz, be it pop music. That was me. I was that kid, and I would sing it, not knowing that I was developing my voice the way it's developed. So when I got to college, and our band director, or the head of the music department, said, "Okay, all you instrumentalists, you need to take class for voice, and all the vocal majors need to take instrument class." And so that's where I was really discovered, in my voice class. People got up and stood up and sang, and I stood up and sang, and I noticed I sounded a lot different than the people who had been career singers at that time.
Wow.
But I didn't give it a different thought. I didn't give it a thought at all. And so, unbeknownst to me, the professor that was over the voice class began to speak to my professor, my trombone teacher, and they discovered that, you know, he sings better than he can play. So let's force his hand. And they actually had to force my hand, because I was a band geek. I lived a band geek. I was going to die a band geek. I never stepped a foot in the choir. I didn't want to sing in the choir. So, so my sophomore year in college, that was they made me make a decision. You know, you can sing or you can play. And so then they taught me how to sing. So in 3 years, I guess, they taught me how to sing. They helped develop the voice that you just heard. They taught me how to sing in German, French, Italian, Latin. I mean, I was in choir. almost every day. Well, every day I was in choir, and then I was also the president and director of the ABC Association of Black Allegiance Gospel Choir. So I was this much in choir for the past 3 years, the last 3 years of my career in college, which with all that training and with all that experience, I landed a job here in Washington, D.C. with the Navy Band Sea Chanters, and I've been singing with them for 23 years.
Wow.
And then around the area as well.
Well, folks, let's get them to hear something else. Let's play
we'll hear something else?
Yes.
All right, let's work this one up. We can play Dormi Rosol from Don Carlo.
Okay.
This is an aria. This is an opera aria that I sang during a recital at the Columbia Baptist Church. I was a vocalist. I was a vocal teacher there at Columbia Baptist Church. I can't think of the name of the school. Columbia School of Fine Arts, I believe. And this recording is me standing in the sanctuary. I narrate a bit, talking about Don Carlo and the characters, and then I begin to sing. So let's get a listen.
Okay, good. All right. Welcome back. Now, I can tell you this, you came and sing at one of our events.
Yes.
The Expo.
Yeah, that was, I believe, a hero for today, I believe. And I call myself a patriotic American of African descent.
Okay.
You know, I love America. America is an awesome country.
Definitely.
Even though I was stationed in Washington, D.C., we traveled around the United States. However, my side job, if you want to call it a side job, as a minister, we do missionary work. And we went to, just returned from Ukraine on the 22nd of July. So that was a 2-week mission field there. And we've done that before. I've been there. That was my fourth time there. We also done mission work around the Washington D.C. area. So when I see the good and the bad part of America, I'm still a proud American.
Definitely.
I still am. For you, if you cut me, I'm gonna bleed red, white, and blue.
Well, I think that I understand where you're coming from, because to fully appreciate America, you have to visit other countries.
Yes.
Otherwise, it makes sense. If all you know is this, well, it's hard for you to appreciate this. But once you go outside and experience something else and come on back, now you have two things to compare, and you can tell which is which.
That's correct. I was about to say da. That's what they speak. They speak Ukrainian. They go da. Yes, that is true. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So,
and we, it's interesting. I traveled 49, sang in 49 states while traveling with the Navy Sea Chanters. But for Christ, I've traveled to Ukraine and England, and Paris and Amsterdam. You know, the flights going in and out of there. So I'd love to do and the way I've raised money for those for the mission trip is I did concerts. And these concerts, I started with the Lord's Prayer, which is also on this CD. I started with the Lord's Prayer, and then I'll do an aria, which is also on this CD. And then I'll go into light pop or light musical, like Oh What a Beautiful Morning, Best You Is My Woman Now. And then the last part of the first half of my concert, I would do this thing I called Admiral's Corner. And the Admiral's Corner is a medley of songs, beginning with, it's 4 of them. I did a jazz song, a country song, the Banana Boat song with Harry Belafonte, and then I'll end with God Bless the USA, or another patriotic song. Each song, I'll come out dressed in a different, like a shirt and a hat. That'll be my attire, shirt and a hat. So, and I'd open up with a jazz tune, There'll Never Be Another You, or the A Train. And then I'll walk away and I'll come back and I'll put a twang in my voice, and I'll talk to them and tell them my name is, I'm kin to Tennessee Ernie Ford. They call me Daryl Ford, and I'll sing 16 tons. Some people say a man is made out of mud, and I'll do that. They get a kick out of that. And I'll go off set and come back and have my straw hat on and maybe a Hawaiian shirt, and I'll do the Banana Boat song, Dale, Dale, and I get the audience involved in it. They love it. They love it. Then I'll walk away and come back in my uniform with my hat on, and I'll sing God Bless the USA. I did that for one of the admirals back in, I guess, 2006, I believe. It was as a musician, a military musician, we go and we sing in the admirals and the generals' quarters. And this night we were entertaining, I don't know who we were entertaining, I can't remember, but they needed 25 minutes, and there was only one singer, and that was me. They needed 25 minutes of a variety of music. So that gave birth to the Admiral's Corner, this set of music. And so I gave them 25 minutes of a variety of music, and I even got them involved in it. So I took that bit and added to my concerts as I raised money for missions. And when I end, I'll end my first half with that bit, and people love it. Makes them come back for the second half. So, and the second half is usually, it's all Christian, contemporary Christian music. As you heard, like How Deep the Father's Love for Us, things like that. And then we'll have what I call, what I was introduced to as a hymn sing. And I'll have about 4 or 5 hymns set up, and I'll ask, who wants to lead this hymn? What's your favorite hymn, And so they'll come up and they'll sing a hymn for me. I sing a hymn with me. We have fun that way. And then I close the concert up with a tune called God and God Alone, which I don't have recorded yet, but that's on my next CD.
Okay, good. You keep hearing about this CD. I want to make a point of showing it to you so you can see it. Here it is. So you see the exact CD is referring to.
That's From Me to You, and I literally mean from me to you.
There you go. Very good. I can tell you, folks, he's a good singer. We have him to our event. In fact, when you came to our event, the MC, the master of ceremony, was John Fox.
Yes.
And after listening to you, she was close to almost in tears. And she said the last time she had such an impact is when she went to a concert with Luciano Pavarotti.
Wow. Well.
To give you an idea,
you
folks.
didn't tell me that one.
Well, I'm telling you now in front of everybody, right?
You didn't tell me that.
I'm telling you now in front of everybody, right?
Okay.
So it's not all private or secret. He got compared to Luciano Pavarotti.
Yes. Wow.
So that's what he hear.
That's a deep honor.
And Jane Fox, she's a celebrity, has been on TV for a good 30 years.
Yes, with Fox.
She has seen them all. She has interviewed presidents of countries and what have you. So she has been around. And you made that impact on her.
Well, it comes from my heart. Just like the From Me to You, it comes from my heart. As I said, my talent is God-given, and I want to give it back. I want to give it back. I want to, I remember one time I was trying to decide if I should go full-time into the ministry and just stop singing altogether. That was one of the decisions I was deciding on. And I was praying, and hope we can talk about prayer on your program.
Absolutely.
All right, I was praying, and it was as if the Holy Spirit was telling me, if you stop singing, Daryl, he said, if you stop singing, then you will cheat the whole world of your voice.
I believe so.
Now, that didn't come from me. I believe it came from him, because my mind was set on being a full-time minister and just not sing, you know, step away from the music and start preaching God's word. And I still do that, but I have not stepped away from music yet.
Well,
So,
if you want my humble opinion, or whatever it's worth, you can't. It's a case of, if you have such a talent, and then you could share it. It's up to you to organize yourself so you can do the other things. But you cannot not.
And that's exactly what the Spirit was saying. You cannot not sing.
You cannot
not sing. If you stop singing, you'll cheat the whole world of your voice. And that's the voice that He gave me. That's the voice.
I mean, the way itself, think about the story, how it came about. Folks, take a look at his name over here, his website, his phone number. If you have any social gathering or personal event that you have, you want to, and you need a good singer. If you just need a singer, that's okay. Don't call him. But if you need a very good singer, and this, I don't know if I told you that, when he came and sang at our event, at the end of the song, I stood up, just instantly. And then clap. Just talk about standing ovation. I never hear this thing called standing ovation. I hear about it, but I never experienced it. You know, you see people standing, you think maybe they stood up and then they say, you know, let me stand up and then clap. But it was, to me, it was like instant. Right after the song. That's how good it was. It made the event. And we're looking forward, just so you know, this is not propaganda, folks. We have our next expo coming up on December 6th. Of course, I asked him to come and sing again.
I'll be there.
Yes, definitely.
I'll be there. So it's recorded, so I got to be there now.
Yeah. Whatever he has on his agenda is canceled. But absolutely, you're right. You cannot have such a talent. It's like if, I'm going maybe to the extreme, it's like if somebody like Michael Jackson was not singing.
Exactly. Oh, you compare me to Michael Jackson now. He's the king of pop.
He's unquestionably, but I'm just talking from having somebody having talent and another person having talent. That's what it is. And it's not just me saying that. Jen Fox says, the last time I felt that way is when I went to a concert with Luciano Pavarotti.
Well, we're about the same size.
Well, I'm glad you are. You get my point.
I got your
and
point.
she's seen it all.
That's your point, yeah.
I mean, this is a famous person, known worldwide. She has access to this, that, the other thing. So yes, absolutely. That's something that you need to continue, because otherwise will be a vacuum. There will be something missing.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's a question. I will help you in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Starting with this program, we're going to be online, folks. This program runs on Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Cox, Verizon Fios, and Comcast. So you can catch it wherever you are. Tuesday on Cox at 9 p.m., Wednesday after midnight, and Saturday at 2 o'clock. So, and then feel free to contact him so he can definitely light up your event and what have you, because this is a true talent over here that we could all appreciate and enjoy. And that's what I said, the music communicates and has an influence. All these songs, the reason I stood up now realizing what I'm talking, it has so much of an influence and impact on me that I jump out of my chair.
Well, there's, I don't know how many minutes we have left, but there's another song that does that to people. The Navy Sea Chanters, when we went on our concert tours, there's a song that we ended with called "My Country 'Tis of Thee," and I'd love for the audience just to get a snippet of that before.
Okay.
Before we
Well,
leave.
let's play it right now, or a good 30 seconds. Very good. And I think that the crowd definitely enjoyed that one as well.
I hope they did. I hope they did.
Yes. Okay, so now carry on. What is your biggest success?
My biggest success, I believe it or not, it's not music. I believe my biggest success is my family.
Very good.
Yes, my wife and I, we've been married for 27 years.
Very good.
And we still like each other. You know, we were just holding hands as we were walking through. She had a medical appointment today, and we were just holding hands walking through the hospital, you know, and we still like each other.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have an older son who's, well, we're in the boomerang stage, everybody. He is searching for a job. He needs to, his desire is to avert the human trafficking. That's his heart's desire. When we went to Ukraine, he heard something about the Middle East, the Eastern Bloc countries being robbed of young, pretty women and getting put in the slave trade. And that just gripped his heart. And so ever since then, that's been 7, 8 years ago. That's when he wants to stop it. So he's trying to get a job with a New Mexico State Police. You know, so he's seeking success. I have a middle son. His name is Josiah. So my oldest son, his name is Jonathan. Middle son's name is Josiah, and he just made a 4.0 in his junior year in college. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to him graduating. Lighter in my pocket. And I have a daughter who just finished her freshman year with a 3.0 down at Meredith College. Okay. And you asked me why I'm saying this is successful. It's because all three of these children were homeschooled. You know, in the case of Josiah and Bethany, they did not see a classroom until they went to college. Wow. Did not see a classroom until they went to college. And Josiah was the one who went with me on a missions trip. Bethany didn't go on the missions trip this year because she is a missionary here for Child Evangelism Fellowship. My wife has gone to Ukraine many times to worship and to lead women in worship as a great speaker. She's an awesome speaker. Awesome. You need to get her here. She's an awesome speaker. And my oldest son, Jonathan, again homeschooled. He also has that heart to give and to help. So I believe that's my best success story to date.
Absolutely. We end on that. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.